All right, I am live on air with Methane Metal. Hi, guys.
Hey, what's up, Monica?
So, for those of you watching who are wondering what this video is or what we're doing, my name is Monica. I'm an advocate for NoKidHungry.org, and I am the creator of the 2015 Entertainment Industry End Hunger Challenge. So, by Methane sitting down with me to do an interview, they're helping to raise $100 just by talking. That $100 is 1,000 meals for hungry kids, so they are doing an awesome thing.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, for those that don't know who you are, I love that. Why don't you take a second to introduce yourself to everybody who's watching the video?
Okay, I'm Tim. I sing and I play bass in Methane.
I'm Jimmy. I play the guitars.
I'm Dylan. I also play the guitars.
Guitars. Guitars.
It's like one guitar each.
not one altogether.
Yeah.
Why don't you tell everybody where you guys are from? And obviously, with the background, they can probably figure out the type of music. But go ahead and fill them in anyway.
Right. We're based out of Sweden. Two of us are Americans living here in Sweden. We play kind of groovy thrash metal, metal. Ah!
I know, I love it. Great. I need their energy. So for everybody watching, I need Methane's, I need his energy very much. So we're talking today about ending hunger, and I don't know how many people are going to join in. We've invited everybody that we could think of. But the first question that I'd like to ask the three of you, and this is different, getting a chance to interview almost the whole band, is why did you choose to do this? You could have helped anybody with any other, cause out there, which are all worthy. What was it about this project that you said, we got to do this?
Yeah, I think, well, first off, you contacted us about doing a little review for our music, and then I started through and talking to you a little bit. I think it's a great thing, Why not help if we can? That's the whole thing.
Exactly. So obviously we are talking about child hunger. Is there anything, and both of you are from over here stateside from America, right?
Right, Dylan and I are.
You are, you and Dylan are. For all three of you, have you ever had to deal with that in your past, or know somebody kind of close to you where hunger has been an issue?
I don't think so.
No?
Not really, not that closely. I mean, I've been thinking about like the differences between the Swedish social system and the American social system, and things that are a lot harder at home. Here we have a good social net that helps out families that are in need, and in the States it's a lot harder.
And that's a good thing. I'm glad that you brought that up, because it wouldn't have been one that I typically asked, because most of the interviews are over here in stateside. So you're saying that you do notice a difference between the hunger issues or the help that is in Sweden versus what we have in the U.S.?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, here we have a system that has a norm for the lowest income, and they go in and help. In the States, there's a similar system, but it doesn't work the way it should be working anyway.
Nope, I completely agree, because if it was working, I wouldn't need to be here and we wouldn't need to be doing this. My question then with that is, what do you think, seeing it from both sides, do you think that we could do here in the States to kind of model Sweden, or to kind of follow in their steps? Obviously it's working over there, so what can we change here?
Yeah,
I think the problem is there's just many people in the United States.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. I mean, I think ideas of like trying to do social reforms and stuff, and mirroring Europe a little bit, and that really didn't go over in the States too well, from what I know, and it probably shouldn't. I mean, the U.S. is the U.S. really what you can do over the States, I have no idea. There's so many
Yeah.
problems over there right now.
Yeah, there are, and a lot of people have said that there's different things about this topic with hunger, that it also kind of goes hand in hand with homelessness, that it isn't just one or the other. Often if there's hunger, there's usually homelessness right behind it, or the two kind of go hand in hand. And it's been mentioned that we need to maybe give the farmers more support. Do you agree with that? That if we gave the farmers more support to make more food, we would be able to provide.
Sure, we kind of have that problem here too in Sweden. I mean, our local farmers in Sweden are being undersold by farmers in other countries, so they're having also problems supporting themselves and making a living on it.
I agree. Yeah, I think that's what we talked about here too, that the local farmers, if they were given more support, the amount of food that they could produce would be able to be used so much farther than what it is. They're not being given the help to, have a chance to make food for others.
Well, I'm under the impression that pretty sure the West has enough food to feed most of the world. They just don't, and large companies like Monsanto and stuff don't help with the situation.
Yeah, we have two companies here that are big No Kid Hungry supporters that actually donate and try to do their part, and that's Tyson Foods and Hickory Farms have been really good. And Tyson with their chicken, that's a big supporter, but I'm trying to find out other companies that kind of where they stand, same things. I think they could probably do more. When I talk about ending hunger, I say my feeling is that we need to put religion and politics aside. And we kind of talked about this before we went live. That's just my feeling. It isn't saying that, your religion doesn't matter, but at the end of the day, if everybody's so hungry that they can't think about anything else, you're not going to get through to them. So do you guys agree with the fact that you just kind of have to set differences aside?
I think that would help a lot of world problems.
Yeah.
The problem is trying to make it happen. Yeah.
Politics and religion were involved. It would help with a lot of things. I promise you that.
And I think people then think that I'm saying that their religion isn't important, which is not what I'm saying. But if a child is so hungry that they can't think of anything else other than how they're going to get their next meal, it doesn't matter what you're trying to teach them.
Yeah, from what I understand from religion, I think one of the basis of religion, like helping each other. I don't know. So if that's getting in the way, then there's something wrong there.
Exactly. Yep. And then the politics, and I think that's one of the biggest things I feel I'm fighting against is politics, which I hate to get involved in. But ultimately in the U.S., that's a big portion of our problem. We had a couple cases where a Samaritan was arrested for trying to feed the homeless. I don't know if you heard of that or not. But it was like a 90-year-old pastor or some man who was trying to feed the homeless people in one of the states and was told that he had to have a permit to feed somebody outside on the street, that you could not do it without a permit, which means the government is then getting money for us to feed,
That's the same thing when I was living in New Jersey. There's restaurants that tried to give the leftover food at night to the homeless people, and they weren't allowed to do it. So apparently they'd tie it up in bags and leave it in the back, and the homeless people could come take it if they wanted, but they weren't allowed to just give it to them.
And I don't understand. I did start a nonprofit. It didn't last very long, only because of funding, but that's a whole other issue. And I was trying to run an after-hours food shelf and help people in addition to what we have in our community. And Olive Garden wanted to donate their daily food. Whatever's left over from the end of the day, they wanted to donate to me. But they couldn't because of state guidelines. And I don't understand, if they have all this food left over from a restaurant that has to follow health codes, why can't they give that? I just don't understand.
I don't make the laws.
That's crazy.
I know. I really don't want to get into that either, but I just think we're missing something. We as a whole are missing something somewhere, that this has not been able to be fixed when other countries don't have, quite the problem. So one of the other questions that I ask is, wow, it's been a different interview for you guys. It's been great having all of you on here with different things thrown out at me that I don't really ask, so it's kind of off the top of my head. But, looking back, if you could tell your followers, your fans who are joining in, or anybody watching this, and we're not done either, a word of advice or something in regards to helping, trying to tell them why should they help. If somebody says it's not my problem, I'm not going to help, I didn't do it, what can we say to convince them that everybody really needs to help be part of this?
Yeah, I can kind of relate to it as in the music business. You meet the same people that you do on the way up, then you meet them on the way down too. You never want your turn to go down. Why not do what you can?
Exactly. Have there been any, so there's 3 of you now, normally it's just one person, but for each of you, and it doesn't necessarily mean artists like we were talking about earlier, but just in life, have each of you had a person who has kind of been an inspiration for you, especially to want to be a voice for something like this, like, for things that matter, to say, you know what, I need to do this? Do you have anybody that you can say, this is why I'm doing it, or this is,
Ding dong. Yeah. Yeah, I think I can probably talk for both Dylan and I. And our grandfather was a very inspirational person for us, and he was religious. Not that he helped a lot of people in a lot of ways, and I think he really has inspired me to help people too.
His daily task was just to go put a smile on somebody's face, or always spreading happiness and just good vibes.
And then he got 2 angry and heavy metal grandchildren.
So another question here, and this is mainly the U.S. side. I don't know about Sweden, but U.S. side. A lot of what's been done in the past, decade or so is what I call a Band-Aid fix. I use that term a lot as it's a temporary fix to kind of a lifelong situation. So we give people food for 30 days worth or a couple weeks worth at a food shelf. We give them food, but we aren't doing anything to put an end to this and think long term. I mean, there's so many short-term solutions for the immediate help, and that's great, but is there anything you can think of that we could do to get past these quick, I'm going to give you food for now, but I'm not going to help you figure out how to, fix it and make this not continue to be a cycle? I mean, do you guys have any ideas as we've been talking that could help us?
They give a man a fish, feed him for a day. Teach a man a fish, feed him for a life. Yeah, I mean, that's probably goes down to education, making jobs, fixing that economy that you guys got going on over there. It needs some help.
Yeah, we do, and that's a whole nother. I agree. It's a whole nother interview in itself, but yeah, a
lot of people that need habilitating in the States, in terms of education and a life path.
Things like mental health too have been brought up. That's a concern. So not only education, and specifically kids, if they're going to school hungry, they're not going to get a full education because all they can think about is when they're going to get their next meal and how they're going to get their next meal. Then you throw in homelessness, low income, mental health, and there's just so many different things that we have to work on, but yet it just seems like we're missing the mark somewhere.
Right. Yeah, I don't really have any idea of how the mental health situation in the States is. I work in mental health here in Sweden, and it's really good. We have like I said, we have that social net that grab you need help, or what it is. We've got a lot of help for that.
And they don't pump them full of drugs and narcotics from the pharmaceutical companies here like they do in the U.S. just with a pill.
Where they're using that to think that that's enough to cover up the problem. If we just put them on medication, then we're good to go. When really that's not actually solving anything.
Right. Yeah. Well, I mean, I work at a habilitating house. We rehabilitate people to go back to integrate into society and as well as with their diagnosis or whatever the problem is.
So do you guys have a pretty good success rate for that over there then, as far as the ability to help them get back out there and not have it be you know, a cycle where they're coming back and just not seeming to get back out into society?
It's pretty much a lifelong connection with the social system here, for the most part. In one way or another, if they have a contact person that's in social, now I gotta translate stuff. In the social system, or if they live in a like kind of a halfway house kind of thing where they live there and they go and work and then they come back, but it all depends on their abilities and yeah, and that kind of thing. So it's a much different system here, is it?
One thing I've been thinking about, and I don't know if it's just me or if people actually agree with me, but with the education part, I think we need education for the food they're given. So with these food shelves or whatever it is over in Sweden where they, you know, give them food, they're being given food for a couple weeks or whatnot, but they're not being told what to do with it. So they're given rice and chicken broth or all these different things, but a lot of people don't know how to put that together, and it ends right back up at the food shelf or not used, and because they have no idea what to do with it. So I think we need education with nutrition and what we're given for the staple ingredients to teach them how to make that last.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, it can make it fun. We can have like a little job. Everybody comes in and makes food.
Well, it'd be a way to get them back out there.
Yeah, why not?
So, all right. Well, and the other question that I asked, we talked about this. So I don't know if you guys had enough time to brainstorm, but at the end of each interview, we give you guys a chance to nominate 3 people, knowing that they don't have to donate any money if they don't want to, that they just sit down with me like we did and just talk, and it raises $100. 3 people, artists, bands, celebrities, whoever you could think of, that you're calling out to say you need to do this. Did you guys figure out what 3 you'd want to call out?
Yeah. Should I do it?
Yeah.
All right. The first band we're gonna call out 3 bands. The first band that we're gonna call out, the Beast Bayonne Blood Feast.
Yeah.
The second band we're gonna call out is the band that we're just starting to get to know, new brothers from the people that are taking us out to the States in September. We're calling out Final Drive. And the third band is the band we're going on tour with here in Sweden in April, Mindshift.
Mindshift. Can you repeat that second one again? Because it kind of cut out. I want to make sure everybody hears who you're calling out.
Final Drive, we're calling you out.
All right. So now all 3 of these bands, if you're watching, you have been called out. You need to sit down with us and do an interview and help raise money for hungry kids. It's as simple as that. Nothing else is required. Methane, you guys have been great. When you come stateside, look me up so we can maybe do a follow-up interview. I appreciate all of your help. I'm going to put a link at the bottom of this video for all of Methane's work, their Facebook page, everything, as well as a link to the project and how you can help. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Monica.
Thank you.
Have a great day.
You too. Bye-bye.
All right.
You know.